Hello, beautiful women. I've been journeying some big pieces at the moment that have really challenged me and really stretched me, but also liberated me. And one of the big pieces has been around this dark masculine energy, the energy that women most desire in men, the energy that women crave to be penetrated by. And the dark masculine is an aspect and an archetype within men, within all men to some degree. And that archetype may be very active, or that archetype may be quite shut down. But the consensus is that women crave it. It's the energy in men that we are most turned on by. But it's also the energy that we feel most challenged by, because it requires us to give up control. It requires us to stop leaning on men for safety and for fulfillment. And this is a man that is on mission and on purpose, a provider, a protector, a man that penetrates you deeply, a man that has certainty and conviction in his truth. And his truth has the capacity to shatter your illusions. And so we really desire this. We desire to receive this. But we really struggle to surrender what comes with this energy. We struggle to hold space for this dark masculine energy in men. And one of the antidotes society has found to cure the oppression of women is to squish this dark masculine energy out of men. You know, if men don't have this dark masculine penetrative energy, then women will be safe. But in its purest form, this energy is powerful and beautiful, and we need it. And some of the struggles that comes with surrendering to this energy in men is that you're not going to be the center of his universe. And you're not able to manipulate him with your emotions. He's not going to be your emotional caretaker. He's not going to sit there processing with you for hours and hours, because he doesn't have the space. It's not his priority. And collectively, women have taken advantage of seducing men into absorbing their emotions and their turmoil, and making it, you know, the man's responsibility to hold. And this man that turns you on the most, he's a man who's in touch with his desires and his life force. And he has eyes for other women. And that doesn't mean that he's necessarily engaging with these women, but he has eyes for other women, and you know about it. You can't take this man out of his truth with your projections and your stories. He will see right through it. And so you can see the challenge is really about giving up being a victim, giving up expecting men to hold you emotionally because you can't hold yourself, or expecting to be the center of this man's universe because you're not fulfilled within your own life. And this is a huge challenge, especially when our whole romantic history has been based on doing the opposite of just that. And this man that turns you on the most, he's not the man that when he shares his vulnerability, you coach him and you try and fix it. You listen. You listen with your heart. You just listen to him. And I've been feeling into the antidote to the challenges that we feel as women towards this dark masculine energy. And I believe that it comes down to fulfilling ourselves, being our own source of fulfillment, not needing to be the center of his universe because you're the center of your universe. You have your own sense of purpose. You don't need to leech onto this man for fulfillment because you're full in yourself. You're emotionally connected to yourself. You have your own sense of aliveness and joy. And it means learning to hold yourself in your depths, learning to hold yourself in the triggers, giving up that addiction to emotionally spewing over the man, or feeling so unsafe in the intensity of the emotion that you have to cling to him, or you get stuck in the mental projection of being abandoned or him not caring. And instead, really learning to surrender into the feeling, to lean back into yourself, which is where the real safety lies. And something that I was shown recently in my relationship was that when I'm leaning on my partner to hold me because I'm triggered or I feel unsafe, his energy isn't actually what I need. It's temporarily satisfying. It gives me a temporary sense of relief, but it's not what I need. I need me. I need to surrender into the feeling enough that I lean back into my own safety and love. That is always present within me. That is always here for me. The place where you find the Great Mother. You find God. Because this habit of exploding onto men and wanting them to hold us, it's often just a cushion. It's a byproduct of fearing that we can't handle what's in our body. So, oh my God, you take it, you hold it. You created it anyway. This sense of entitlement that we feel to penetrate men's hearts and have them absorb our emotional baggage. And it doesn't actually serve us. It doesn't serve us in cultivating safety. And it doesn't serve us in creating the relationship we desire with the man that really turns us on. And this man that really turns you on could be any man. It's just a question of, are you holding space to ignite and activate these parts of your man? The part that will penetrate you deeply, that is on purpose, on mission, that's in touch with his truth, that has certainty and conviction? Are you holding space for those aspects of your man? Or are you squishing it and castrating him because it feels too unsafe and it means that you don't have control? And every time we leave ourselves, to lean on the masculine, often we're actually abandoning ourselves. We're actually saying, no, this is too much for me. I can't handle it. I'm just going to lean on you for a moment. And it's not the space where real healing happens. Healing happens when we surrender into our own bodies. And something that I really witnessed in myself is when I'm leaning on the masculine for safety, it's kind of just like this bottomless pit that can't be filled. It doesn't matter what he says, how much time and energy he gives me, it will never be enough. Because what I'm looking for is me. What I need is me. And I really believe that the better you are at holding yourself, the less that this man is your emotional caretaker, the better your sex will be. The deeper you'll be penetrated, the more turned on and ravished you'll feel by him. So I feel complete with that. I'd love to know your thoughts and experiences with this. And I'd love to invite you to try this. To maybe, if you're in a habit of wanting your man to process with you and hold you, actually creating space for you to do that with yourself and see what difference it makes. Or giving him a little bit more freedom. Giving both of you a bit more space in the relationship. And just see what that ignites. Because curiosity activates desire. So when we take space from each other, or when we're consumed in our own world and then we come back together, there's a lot of desire and fire and eros from that. So in just over a week's time, I start the Love Like a Queen Mastermind, which is a 10-week mastermind for women to catalyze themselves to their deepest desires. This is going to be a real intimate, strong container of sisterhood, of vulnerability. We're going to be doing deep healing work around the blocks and the beliefs that are preventing you from being in your feminine power, from feeling that you are a creatrix in your life and not a victim who things just happen to, and relationships just go this way for me, or men just seem to respond this way for me. This is where you take back your power as a creator, as a woman who magnetizes her desires to her rather than pushing and forcing. I have a handful of spots left, and I really am calling in women who are deeply committed to this work, who are really committed to leveling up and really being in a space of illumination and sisterhood and support. This is not a container where we meet for 10 weeks and then we part ways. This is a container of lifelong sisterhood. And beyond the 10 weeks, we will continue meeting once a month to keep up with the accountability and the alignment that we're committed to. So please reach out if you are feeling curious or intrigued. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for tuning in.